Today's going to be a story time. Story times are going to be for informing people about what's going on. Not to necessarily everybody, but a specific type of person. And the youth. The youth and specific adults. So, I had a YMCA membership recently, which was taken away, and I'm going to tell the story about that. One day I was in the shower, and I go at the same time, usually regularly, and because of that, people recognize you, and they even maybe ask who you are, ask around about you, hear you talking, things like that. Maybe they form an opinion about you. Most people have the same schedule every day, and I had noticed a mom and these two kids that would come in every time I would take a shower. Around the same time that I was taking a shower, they'd come in. And the little child, the littlest, would cry often, but it never was long. It was brief. The adult would like soothe the baby or whatever. You would hear some voices, something, anything. But this particular day, it sounded like the oldest one, who's probably around 4, was in the bathroom going number 2. So he's in there for a little while. And so the mom and the younger one are waiting outside of the bathroom. And all of a sudden, the baby starts crying. And it's like a calm cry at first, and like it just continues to escalate. Mind you, I get negative feedback from women all the time. From mainly women, honestly, because like if I'm in a good mood, men love me, you know? Because I don't have any preconceived notions about them. And so it's easy for them to relax. Like, I'm not accusing them of anything. Unless I see them doing something, I will say something. But they like me in that sense. So it's mainly women, and so I feel like this woman had seen me and she knew who I was, and she just recognized my pattern like I recognized hers. And so this particular day, the baby started crying. It started to escalate, and it got worse. And I didn't hear the mom say a word. The other child didn't say a word. And it just felt really odd. And the cry ended up going on for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then it turned into like a distressed cry. And in the locker room, it also echoes. So it was odd to me that the mom didn't take the child outside. I know that the other one was in the bathroom, but I don't know. There was no soothing the child. And the child was not self-soothing. So after like 5 minutes of just a steady cry, I took my soap and I like banged on the soap dispenser to like maybe get the baby to stop. Like, you know when you hear a sudden noise, you're gonna like listen. Maybe I thought that wouldn't work. Or I banged on it and I was like, I said out loud to the mom, I was like, is everything okay? And like I started talking to her and asking her, and she wasn't responding. And it was just getting really like I mean, there were so many emotions running through my head, you know, like I know I know the like perspectives like that it could have been, like the situation could have been so many different things. So I wasn't assuming, but I was trying to get feedback, you know, because it was a cry of distress at the end. And I was like, dude, this baby needs help. And I'm in the shower naked, you know, I don't want to come out there. And it's like, I heard the parent in there when they came in. It's like, she had to have been sitting there on her phone, like neglecting the child on purpose. That's what I felt like. It was like, she was bugging the child to get him to cry, to bug me. I mean, this is just, it happens all the time. Like, this is the regular all day thing for me. And so I'm not mad. I just want to know if the baby's okay, you know? And so So the way that it was said, I at first said, take care of your baby, take care of your child. I was mad at the mom that she wasn't helping the child. And I was kind of like I sounded frustrated. I did. This is after like 6 or 7 minutes, I swear, of the baby crying. And so the mom got offended, and I said out loud, like, why aren't you helping your child? Like, soothe the baby. Like, it's obviously crying. It's upset about something. And I told her, I said, I'm a nanny. I've heard many cries. This is not a cry of anything other than distress. This is a distress cry. This is a painful cry. The baby's in pain is what it sounded like. And it was like, the mom was just snotty back the whole time. She's fine. She's fine. I can't believe you're saying this to me. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, what is wrong with you? It's like a baby. It's not a speaking words yet, you know? Or so we think, anyway. So she ended up like calling someone on the phone because I stopped talking to her. I didn't want to like get involved anymore because she was just being a bitch. And so she called somebody on the phone, I think the like front desk manager or something. I don't know, front desk girl maybe. I never saw any of the people. This is all through the shower door while I'm naked in the shower, trying to relax. Parents do this stuff for attention all the time. Kids do this for attention. After hearing the mom speak, I could tell that she was just wanting attention. Like, some moms will literally sit there and be on their phone and totally ignore the child while there's crying, and act like it's normal to let your baby just cry. This is how mood disorders are entrained into children. It starts out in infancy, and then all of a sudden they're like 3, and the parents are like, I don't understand. Like, what? It's like, I could wring their necks, you know? I could just... So yeah, she was just a spoiled mom. She was getting the attention she wanted. She called the front desk girl. The front desk girl's like asking me about it through the door, and I'm explaining myself. And I said it was a cry of distress. Of course I'm going to say something. And she's like, well, it doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. You know, the baby's not crying. And I said, well, it's a good thing to have an issue about. And I was firm. I was firm in my stance and what I was believing in. Like, I don't care if she was doing it on purpose to bug me and the child was fine. I don't care if the child was in there by himself, like, crying because he got hurt. That's what it sounded like. No words from the mom, just a distressed cry from a baby. And knowing another child's in the bathroom going poop, you know? Yeah, so I came out, I got ready real fast, got dressed, and I came out, and I didn't even look over in that direction. I didn't want to look at her. I didn't want to give her the attention she was bugging me for. I just ignored her and walked through and left. I didn't even acknowledge the worker either. Like, I was so annoyed. I didn't want to come back. So then the following day, my mom sent me a text message saying to call the YMCA because they're revoking my membership. And so I did, and so they did. And it's like, oh, I couldn't even believe it. Like, any normal person would have said something to what I was hearing. And these spoiled moms are just so evil, dude. They're just like... It's like the dads don't do their part in certain areas, and so they, like, spoil the mom. In return, the mom gets to do so much stupid shit, and the dad just stays silent because the dad does so much stupid shit towards the mom. And so it's like this, like, tit for tat, like as long as, like, I do this for you, you'll let me do this for you. And it could be just completely abusive and disrespectful or whatever. And because they're married, they don't want to get divorced, they have kids. It's like, ugh. It's shitstorm. So my next story is about a tow truck driver that came to jumpstart my car one morning when my battery died. So this guy pulls up, and I'm just gonna describe him. He's kind of like on the shorter side. He's Hispanic. He looks like he could have been good looking back in the day, you know, when he was younger. But he's like 45. And he had actually helped me one time before. I remember faces. I don't remember his name or anything, but so so I don't know, for some reason this time, I don't know if he was like in a vibe or what, but he like put his sexy vibe on, I guess you could say. Like, it's this like act that the guys put on, and it all looks the same because like the personality disorders, they all have certain like mannerisms and like body mechanics that go with it, each personality. So so he's just like putting his hand on the hood as he's like going into the car, you know, and he's like peeking through the crack to see if I'm looking, and like, I don't know, being like that. And I'm just like trying to pretend I don't see it, and I'm trying to stay in my car, and like, I don't know, I don't like go on my phone when I have people helping me, but I will like fiddle around in the car and act like I'm organizing or something. So that's what I was doing. And then he had a question about the battery. Out here in real life, I'm seeing a heavy expectation of women to just give all men attention. Like, there are some bitchy women and there are narcissistic women, but I think they've been, it's like a program, you guys, and it's like in everybody, but the women specifically, like the youth girls, they're expected and don't really need much expectation because they need approval now. And so it's just like these guys like feel entitled to my attention, and it's like so odd to me because it's like I have preference, you know. If I don't give you signals, why are you even trying to like be weird with me, you know? So he was in this like strong fantasy, like he was trying to like direct a movie or something. Like he was in a movie scene and he's like this sex symbol. That's what it looked like. And so it was like he was also flirting with me and stuff. And it's like, to me it's odd when you're working, like you don't be flirty. Like if you want to like slip a number real quick, that's one thing, but like you don't flirt with them, you don't like make passes at them, stuff like that. And so this guy called me out of the car to look at the battery again, and it was at the point where he was putting the clips on to like jumpstart it, and he was like explaining what he had to do with the battery, and all of a sudden he was like, yeah, and now we have to take our clothes off. And he said it so fast, and he continued talking as if he didn't say it. And in my head, I'm like, what in the world? Like, what in the world? It was easily covered up because I knew that he knew that if I asked, what did you say? He would just play it off like he said, oh, we need to take off the clips. There was like a pause though, and then he continued speaking. So it was like he was waiting for me to respond. He wanted to see what I would say. He wanted to see I don't know what he was thinking, dude. That was crazy. Who knows what he was thinking, you know? He's in a movie scene right now. He's probably literally watching a movie in his head with popcorn. Anyone can get wrapped into somebody's fantasy, like the projection that they're projecting about themselves. So, I don't know. I just feel like anyone that's being trafficked, the people we need to be worrying about are the common folk that are just like living day to day out here in the real world. Not even on the internet. anyone commenting on the internet is just people, people and everyone that wants attention, that are trying to become famous. So they're going to tell you whatever they want you to hear to become famous. So it's really out here that you'll see what's really going on. And when I say out here, I mean like just like restaurant after restaurant, or like gym after gym, or you're out in the socialized life. So like he just like did his job. Like he ended up giving me a new battery because I had a warranty on the battery and it was dead, like an old battery. So yeah, that's that story. Those are moments that like we would see as like a sexual assault, a form of sexual assault emotionally. Nothing physical happened, but like emotionally and mentally it can affect you as like a young girl, or even a young guy. Like if you're being sexualized and you're like being spoken to a certain way and you haven't been with a woman, or you like, it's just a violation of privacy, a violation of your autonomy, a violation of yourself.